Have you ever wished you had not said something? If you're not careful, sometimes the mouth will speak before the brain is engaged. There's a verse in the book of Proverbs that says, "Even a fool is thought to be wise if he does not speak, if he keeps his mouth shut." In the New Testament, in the book of James, chapter 3, it talks about the power of the tongue and attitude. James illustrates by how a horse can be controlled with a bit in its mouth. A ship can be controlled by a small rudder. Then he says the tongue is a fire. And he lets us know that a little spark can cause a really big fire. He says that with their tongue people bless God and curse men who are made in the similitude or likeness of God. Blessing and cursing come out of the same mouth. Then he says, these things should not be. James says the tongue cannot be tamed by man. Since that is the truth, then we humans need to allow God to tame our tongues and bring them into submission to His will. And after being so critical of the tongue, James asked the question, who is wise among you and endued with knowledge? In other words, who is smart enough to allow God to help him control his tongue? Let that person show it by the life he lives of gentleness that comes from wisdom. But if in your heart you have bitter envy and strife, you should not be proud of that because you're lying against the truth. God's word is truth. After being so stern, James explains what the wisdom of God looks like. It is pure or holy and clean. It is peaceable. It is gentle or meek and kind. It is easily entreated or yielding and submissive to others. It is full of mercy or compassionate and forgiving. It is full of good fruits. You may want to check out Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. It is without partiality or has no respect of persons. It is without hypocrisy or genuine. Then James concludes the chapter by saying that if you want to see a harvest of righteousness represented by these things, then be a peacemaker and sow seeds of peace. I want you to understand that someone is listening to or reading what you say and the attitude with which you say it. And they will follow your example. Let your tongue speak peace to troubled hearts and to a world that needs peace. Be blessed.